So, hi guys, welcome back to another episode of my little conversations. Hi, miss Kuyap. Damn, never thought I'd miss it this much, but life has been lifing. Things have been going on. So yeah, it's been a minute. Missed talking to a microphone. I would have said talking to you guys, but I'm talking in an empty room all to myself by myself. Yeah, so I hope you all are good. Happy New Year in Feb, I know. Time has gone by so fast. I would have sworn that by like second, third week of January I would have something up, but I guess here we are right now. So yeah, I don't know what to say honestly. This is a very impromptu episode. Yeah, so I just hope you enjoy listening to my nonsense. But I bet that's what you're here for. So anyway, I think I'll just give a life update today. Yeah, so I'm good. The air so far is amazing. Yeah, I am almost lost for words. That's why I'm like every few seconds I'm like, yeah. So, I am in Siaya County, Nikobondo, which is interesting to most people who I have not yet told. And then when I tell them, they're like, what are you doing on that other side of the country? Which is also, I don't know, it's amazing, but scaringly amazing, but so far so good. Yeah, so January I was out and about preparing for the great move. Yeah, but anyway, I think it's just more awkward because I do not personalize my stuff on here. I always come with stories, or if it's life updates, it's like tiny, teeny bits. But yeah, I just want to make it a bit different today. So, of course, there was no episode in January. So, um, my 2025 goals were, should I say, well set in the beginning, but I realized I have this habit of redefining my goals as the year goes by. Because trust me, the 26 I had envisioned like in September last year, and what I saw in December and what I saw in January 2026 are three very different lives, if I may say so. Yeah, so sometimes life has this way of surprising you, and you do get surprised in good and bad ways. This time was okay. Let me not be too vague because I've already said I am in Siaya, I'm in Bondo. So last year in September, there was this opportunity that I had seen na nikasema we nimekumark na walai nimekumark na we ni wangu. You ain't going nowhere. So around September, October, November, I had seen and almost planned out my life around that particular opportunity. And it's not such a bad thing, I mean, because if you're mentally prepared for something, then when the physical bit actually starts happening, then it's probably easier. But I guess there was, of course, this small part of me that was like, ha, you might not get it. And yeah, I didn't get it. And it was a smack to my face in December. And I was like, okay, so that's not going to happen. What will happen next? What does my year look like without this thing that I had anticipated? So I had to like go to my drawing board and recheck and redefine what I'd want my life to look like now that what I had seen for myself is most probably not going to happen. So by the end of December, I already had like, okay, this is what we'll do. No worries. There's plenty more chances, there's plenty more things that you could do with yourself. And that's okay. It was fine by me, but I'm not gonna lie, it was a pain in the chest. Nearly feel vibaya sana. But yeah, I let it simmer. I let myself feel the emotions, the anger, the sorrow, the sadness, the mourning of the life I had seen. Yeah, and then by the end of it, I was like, okay, I guess it's not the end of the world because that's not the only thing that I can do. So by allowing myself to like sit in it, I was able to get out of it. Yeah, that's how I'll put it. So in early January, I got this offer letter for a job, a 1 year contract. It's Yaya Bondo. And I looked at it at first and I was like, yo. So, okay, for the interview, they had asked if you're okay with like um being posted wherever. And I was like, yeah, bet. Why not? I mean, Tembea Kenya is not gonna be Tembea Kenya for me if I don't move around and if I don't work in like other places, etc. So they took it a bit too seriously and they decided to throw me. Yeah. So far so good, I must say, but I had freaked out, I'm not gonna lie. Like it was amazing in the beginning and then it hit me. And then after I started preparing my things and then like 2 days to is when it really hit me that girl, unaenda Bondo. You're going to Bondo for a whole year, a new place, new people, new environment, different culture. You're living alone. You would like everything is new. There's no one you know there. There's nothing, almost nothing. It's a part of the country that I've never been to, which was scaringly interesting until the day before I traveled. And I was like, what? Walai naenda. Yeah, so so far life has been good. It's been like 2 3 weeks now. And I think with the settling in, I am still defining how I want my 2026 to look like now that there's this thing ahead of me, or that my life has done a 360 like twice already in my face. But yeah, um, I guess one thing I definitely want to do for sure is to travel this sides of Western Nyanza before I am back to default, and by default I mean back to Nairobi life. Yeah, some things I've noticed here is things are slow, which is nice. It's a nice and calm environment, but for someone who's fast paced and always on the move, okay, it's not hard to adjust, but it almost feels like niko vacation mode every day, which I guess is relaxing in a good way. So yeah, that's how my 2026 is so far. I hope yours is going amazingly, going amazingly. I hope that's grammatically correct, but whatever. So yeah, I I I I think I've mentioned on here so many times. I like to reflect back on my year towards the end rather than in January. And I remember in November, actually, I usually start it around October so that I start looking ahead. And I realized it usually saves me this pressure towards January to look at my year, and then I end up over analyzing everything based off of my December only. So yeah, I started in October, looked back, realized I've had a great year. Kumbe there was more coming in November. There was more coming in December. And I think right now in Feb, when I look back to 2025 plus January 2026, I am a blessed little girl and I cannot say anything more. I mean, like, I tried to put one and one together and I realized that some things are not possible unless God is in the picture, which is interesting when I say it like that, because what happened is this thing that I wanted in September was such a big thing for me. And ni one of those things you look at and you're like, Wallahi ni hii, like you're so sure. And it even goes to the point where on a random weekday, I was feeling, when you feel out of place where you are at in your life or in your workplace or at home or wherever, or in the situation you're in. And I remember that day I cried nikienda home kwa mat. Which is so weird when I say it out loud, because I don't like talking about situations where I have cried, but I cried and I was like, am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing? Am I meant to be here? Am I even making a difference? Like in this place, am I making a difference in my own life? Am I improving myself? Ama niko tu? Unajua the situations where unajipata you're just an added person, an extra person, but your impact is never noticed. Your efforts are never seen. Yani kama uko kama hauko ni vile tu your seat will be empty, but there's nothing you bring to the table. So I felt it so much in my gut to actually cry out na nikasema kimimi, I feel like I am out of place. And I don't remember where it was coming from, but I felt it so strongly to the point where nilikuwa naenda home in the mat and I was crying. And then I remember the next day, this random guy from a random department, a guy I had never seen, that's number one, a guy who I'm sure had never seen me because I had been in this place for 2 weeks or like a week. So I was almost sure this nigga's never seen me ever. So this random guy from this random department who I've never seen and who I'm sure has never seen me came to me. I think I was helping him out with something. And then he asked me, what's your name? And I told him Edna. And I was like, Edna, you're doing a really good job. You're making a difference. I can see that I don't remember his exact words, but he was like, you're diligent in your work and you are evidently putting in the effort. And afterwards, when I was like, huh? So why would a random person tell me that you're doing a good job and you're in the right place and your diligence is showing in your work? That's just God telling you, reaffirming me that, you know what, you were crying yesterday, but you are actually meant to be here. You're meant to be in this space. You're not just occupying a space. Your presence is felt even by the other tiny human beings that have put there with you. So yeah, I don't even remember where this story was going. Oh yeah, so I was saying, like, the same way that God reassured me in that at that time or in that position is the same thing I felt towards the beginning of this year. So I will not go to details because today I have already gone into as much detail as my life concerns, but as my life is concerned. But I remember I told myself, hey, I have carried this thing for too long. So it was such like something that has been bugging me for the longest time. So nikajiambia, I've carried this thing for way too long. I'm not about to carry it into the new year. So towards, I think it was in New Year's actually, I prayed about it and I said, hey God, Mimi, wallahi this time, Mimi, I've left it to you. I'm not thinking about it anymore. I will still work my way towards it. And may your will prevail. Because honestly, the more effort I put in, the more I try to carry it all on my own, the more frustrated I'm getting. So okay, those were not the exact words when I prayed about it, but it was something along those lines. I have waited on it, I have been frustrated, I have been disappointed in so many ways, but nimefika point I don't know what to do, and I'm gonna leave it to you, and I will not really care about, I won't fuss about the output. I'll just put in the work, and that's what I did. And I feel like 2026 so far is like the cute little reward that, you know, a father gives his daughter and reaffirms her and says, you trusted me, and now this is your reward. Which sounds so, I don't know, the one it makes me feel like I should have let go of this like ages ago, but again, you can't say that God's timing is bad. But in my mind, I'm like, if I knew this is how easy it's going to be after I've let go and genuinely let go of what is bugging me, I would have done it long ago. I would have done it ages ago. So anyway, today I've been vulnerable way. Never talk about my shit like this on here, but I hope someone learns a lesson, someone picks something. Hey, I'm just happy I get to yap. I am happy I get to release. I'm happy I have an outlet. And yeah, I apologize for all the noise outside. There is construction ongoing. And due to unforeseeable circumstances, I don't have my aesthetic background noise. So apologies for that. But yeah, I decided, you know what? Even in my lazy, okay, I'm not lazy, but I just feel like lazing around till, you know, whenever I feel like I can get up and do stuff. Because I still honestly feel like I'm adapting to the place. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to do an episode at least. And I know once I start, there is no stopping. So we're going to deliver every week. I'm going to deliver every week. Yeah, for as long as I can. If I get overwhelmed, of course, I'll take a step back. But yeah, it's always a pleasure to come back on here and just talk and talk and talk and talk. So, that's my 2026 so far. I cannot say that I am not blessed. I am beyond blessed to be here to see like what God is planning for me in 2026 so far. I love it here. Yeah, anyway, if I yap, I might yap here for 30 minutes. So I'm gonna leave it right there for today. Yeah, I just hope your 2026 is progressing amazingly. Again, Happy New Year. And yeah, I can't wait to yap more. And also hopefully set up, there's a studio yenye nimemark hivi and I want to like slither my way into going to record from there. It will be a bit like, I think the sound quality would improve a lot. There'd be very little background noise. So yeah, considering also I don't really have the aesthetic background noise, that would kind of help with the recordings. But anyway, I hope I am able to do that. So yeah, I'll leave it right there. See you next week. Yeah, I've been your host Wanjiko Edna. Have a lovely rest of your week. Bye. Make sure to follow our socials at mylittleconversations.ke on Instagram. Bye.